Hi there, welcome to Table Talk episode 4. I'm Kessyl.
I'm Carol.
So today we'll be talking about Rick Genest. Just 2 days ago, on Wednesday, he was found dead at his home in Montreal, Canada. Reports say it's reportedly that he actually took his own life.
Yeah, so we decided to talk about a topic because apparently this is something that a lot of people around the world really pays attention to. So me, myself, I don't really know much about the detail of this incident, but I think Kessyl did a little bit of research.
Yes, actually I don't know. I know about him because I've seen him in Lady Gaga's Born This Way music video before. And like, of course, he's gonna catch my eye. Like, as you can see in the picture, like, his body is full of tattoos. Like, about 90% of his body is covered in tattoos.
Wow.
So he caught my eye, but I didn't really know his name. But most of the people known him as a zombie boy.
Right, I mean, yeah, he's literally all covered in tattoo, you can see. I mean, I think the tattoos are very nicely done. But like in the video, like, do you remember the video?
Yes, I remember. It was actually back in 2011. That's like 7 years ago. Wow, that's a long time.
That's a while ago.
It felt like I just heard that song, like, Baby, I was born this way. Like, it's just like yesterday, but it's actually 7 years ago. But his news became viral because Lady Gaga talked about him on Twitter. So this is the music video that they were stabbed together in. So Lady Gaga talked about him on her Twitter, and she was saying like how she felt really devastated. Like, here she said, the suicide of my friend Rick Genest, a zombie boy, is beyond devastating. We have to work harder to change the culture, bring mental health to the forefront, and erase the stigma that we can't talk about it. And she said, if you're suffering, call a friend or family today. We must save each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think I really admire Lady Gaga for always bringing like really heavy topic onto the table, because
to shed a light.
Yeah, it's not really something that everyone wants to talk about on a daily basis, and you can see in her song that's the kind of things that she's willing to cover. I'm not really sure what character he was portraying in the MV, but it's definitely, mental illness is definitely something that I think a lot of us suffer from.
Yes, but let's tell the audience like who is Rick Genest, and let me tell you who's Rick Genest as well. So here's a few like background about him. So he was born and raised in Montreal, Canada. At 15, he was actually diagnosed with brain cancer, where he actually removed like nearly half of his brain.
Wow.
So that he can fight the disease, but then he's now cancer-free. And a year later, which is at age 16, so was a year later after he was diagnosed with brain cancer, at age 16, he got his first tattoo. Yeah, and then that is when everything started. And then he's a model, and he's also an actor. He acted in 4 movies that I've never seen before, but it was like Love at Last Sight and like 47 Ronin. Maybe I should check it out. But he also spent several years on the local freak show circuit in Canada. So I was like, what is freak show? So I just I Googled it. And then, well, according to Google, it says that a freak show is a sideshow at a fair featuring abnormal developed people or animals. And they were saying like these people are people who aren't afraid to be themselves and like doing weird and unusual things. So like, for example, the freak show can have like, see, their fingers are like we have 5 fingers, and for them maybe they have a different like kind of fingers. Or it could be people just doing things like eating the fire, or like playing with really like dangerous knives, or like the littlest lady in LA, or like the tallest man in America kind of thing. Like, it features all these people.
It's like a Guinness record book kind of thing.
Yeah. But have you any idea about what a freak show is?
You know, I've heard about what a freak show was before. I know it's something that people used to go to back in the day for entertainment, but I personally have never been to a freak show. I think by the definition that you just explained, I don't think I've been to like a real freak show, but I do have my fair share of experience of a freak show. So I was in Thailand once, and there are a lot of very different shows in Thailand. I'm sure, like, you know, and a lot of people know. So they don't, you know, they're in Thailand. They're lady boys, and they do like they sing and they do things that you would see like a normal circus show. In the freak show, they do some like more advanced stuff that I'm not sure if this is the right platform to share. But my experience going to the quote-unquote freak show wasn't really that comfortable. It's just definitely very entertaining, but for me, I feel like I am having my entertainment based on people who
have disabilities.
Who has abnormal situation. And I think that the show that I watched is a little different because they were doing mostly freaky stuff, not so much that they were born abnormal. But at the same time, you still feel a little uncomfortable watching these people trying to make a living by selling, I guess, the more empathetic side of them.
But again, like I read an article today, it was saying like how, you know, they are just being themselves. Like, like you say, maybe they have disabilities, but they're just maybe staying true to themselves and found a place that they belong. Yeah. So, but then, so he was in the freak show, and then when he was 20 years old, he was found by Lady Gaga's stylist, Nicola, and that's when he became, he was starred in Lady Gaga's music video Born This Way, and then after that it launched him into international fame. Like he was starred in like I think magazine covers like GQ, Vanity Fair, and like Vogue Homes, which is an Italian.
By the way, which one is Lady Gaga? Can you tell by the screen? Is it
on the right?
Because on the right?
Yeah,
I can't tell.
I know, right? But he's the one on the left, so he has real tattoo, and Lady Gaga just has makeup on, like trying to like mirror his tattoos.
Right. Okay. Okay. Got it.
So we're gonna talk about why is he called a zombie boy?
Right.
Because he's known as a zombie boy, but of course, like we said just now, because 90% of his body are covered in tattoos, and almost like his bone and his organ is like including his face, like the skull feature. So that's pretty.
Right. You know, when I see someone who's covered in tattoo, I think tattoo. It's well, me coming from Taiwan in Asia, tattoo used to be like a very taboo thing, right? You only have tattoo on if you are part of a gang. Like this is like it kind of marks you of you belong to a certain group. If you are from a nice family, a nice upbringing, then you wouldn't want to necessarily cover yourself with tattoo. But now I think tattoo, it's definitely a little different. The meaning behind having tattoo is mostly for more of a like self-recognizing purpose. More than you know having to be part of a gang. It doesn't really represent something that's not good, right? So for him to have the zombie boy name, like did they tell you why?
No, it was like I think most people known him by Zombie Boy instead of his real name, like Rick Genest. But again, like what you say about tattoo, right? Like it's a stigma. In olden days, it's like when I was young, my parents like, hey, don't tattoo. Or like my grandparents. I think my parents are okay with it, but like more like my grandparents. But it's like maybe if you tattoo, you're worshiping the devil, or like some. Of course, there's a lot of history to it. But again, like it's the 21st century, like. You have a tattoo, you're cold, right? But it's like he has his whole body. I'm not sure about that. I don't think I can accept that, but that's fine. It's great, right?
Yeah. And I think I'm sure someone coming from his background, I think tattoo probably means more than what we can understand. I think it's part of his identity.
He actually said this. He said he told a magazine called Italia Grazia. He said that when I was a kid, I fell in love with zombies and wanted to become one. The closest thing I could get to becoming a zombie was to get tattooed like one. So I guess that was his idea behind why he tattooed his entire body.
But why do you think he wants to be a zombie?
I have no idea. I really have no idea. But again,
zombie is like walking dead, living dead. Maybe he feels like. I think maybe
everybody wants to become something, right? Everybody wants to become something like
immortal. I don't know. Maybe that's Yeah,
but again, he actually holds a Guinness World Record for the most insect tattoos on his body. That is a total of 176, as well as another record for the most human bone tattoos, 139.
Wow.
That's really...
You know, I thought about getting a tattoo earlier this year.
Do you have any on your body?
I don't, but I wanted it for the longest time. But, you know, I'm like one of those people who's really afraid of pain.
So yes.
Yeah,
I've
so
been thinking like maybe that's one of my goals in August. I don't know. Yeah, but it's like they say once you tattoo it, it's like you get addicted. I don't know. It's like you want more, you want more. Maybe one here and then the more.
I think it will be like plastic surgery, right? Once you get your nose done, you want to get your chins done, and you want to have your eyes done. I would imagine it to be like that. But just for me to imagine getting to the tattoo shop and having my tattoo, you know, like seeing someone with the needles and like poking into, I don't know. I just like the thought of it just makes me really nervous.
Again, it's 21st century now. You are free to express yourself like in your bodies, like with your hair and things like that.
Right, but then, so that's with him.
Something I want to mention, actually, before his death, like actually his birthday is on August 7th. So, if my laptop moves, yes, on August 7th, he's turning 33. So he killed himself just 6 days before his birthday. He turned 33. And then he posted his picture on Instagram. It was posted hours after his death. So People magazine actually said that he might actually use an app to schedule the post on his Instagram. So on this picture, it's actually a photo of a dark background and a ring of light. And like the poem says like something about, what can we see it here? Lo, we howl upon stars hung above. We soul cast down the well of stones as fire laid betwixt two fates. I think it's pretty deep. I didn't really understand, but
yeah, well, when someone decides to take the extreme measure of killing themselves, I think everything gets really deep and dark. There must be a reason why you feel like you prefer to end everything then to live, right? Yeah. So that bring us to our next topic.
Yes. But before that, I want to mention that actually before his death, he was actually with the Home Depot Canada Foundation to bring awareness to youth homelessness.
So he was trying to fight it, and he was trying to help it, but but I guess whatever pain he was going through, I think it just got too deep and too heavy, and that's probably was the easier route that he could take. Yeah. And we're going to talk about a few other well-known.
So it's Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain. It's also actually just 2 months ago, June 5th, and Anthony Bourdain was, I don't remember.
I remember Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, because I was actually on a bachelorette trip with my friends. And then we woke up in the beautiful Sedona and woke up, and then I saw the news feed on my phone saying that he's dead. And you know, like how he's like a household name, right? But you don't know him. But when you see him take his life, you just feel like a really close friend of you has passed. Right. Because you watch his show every day, you really believe in whatever show message he's trying to deliver on TV, and you like him. You expect to see him every week of like those crazy adventure that he takes you to. So when a character like that exists in your life every week or like on a regular basis decide to take their life, it just really makes you question why people want to do that.
Yes. And for me, it's like I'm actually shocked. I didn't like watch him for a long time, but I watched some of his because he's like a food and travel TV personality kind of thing. And I saw his videos. It's like it's super awesome. Like I feel he's so talented. Like it's like this is his gift, you know, like eating and like conversing with people. Like he actually cares about people. And like I saw his what's the name of his show? Parts Unknown. He has actually a few parts with CNN, and it's just like, how can a person actually when he killed himself, he was in France shooting Parts Unknown, like the final series or shooting the show. So I'm like, hey, his career is so, you know, like so successful, and he seems happy on camera. But again, you always never know what happens behind the scene. And actually CNN shot him. Actually, there's a document released, as we can see in picture 14. It's actually a 3-page piece that begins with a description of a 2016 episode of Parts Unknown that took place in Buenos Aires. And there, Anthony Bourdain, he filmed a therapy session when he was talking to a therapist. And he said he felt very isolated and described his lifestyle as crushingly lonely. So, and during the session, he also spoke about how something as trivial, as small as eating a bad meal at an airport could send him into a spiral of depression that can last for days.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's just very crazy. Like even before that I think that therapy session, that show that was shot, it was 18 months before he took his life. So like before he took his life, he was already indicating, and he's very vocal about it. Like he's struggling, and it's aired on TV and things like that. So it's not like he didn't talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, just like we talked about last week, right? So Demi Lovato, she's also struggling with her addiction or her battles. I guess you have relapse if you have you do have those mental struggle. It's not something that just can be cured for all.
I'm so scared, you know, because I was checking out Lady Gaga's Twitter, and then her post towards Zombie Boy, and just her post with for Zombie Boy, below that post, it was a post for Demi Lovato. It's like, Demi, stay strong, and like in Demi, we have some confidence and things like that. And it's just like, hey, I'm so scared. I hope Demi doesn't take that road, you know, because it's just really tough.
Right. But I think when you reach a level of Anthony Bourdain, you do feel lonely sometimes. It's not really a mindset that I think people like us, like the average Joes, can understand. Because I guess when you are at a certain level of success, if you are a perfectionist, if you are more on the artsy side, you do want to keep a certain level. You do always want to break through. You want to find the newer, more exciting things. You don't want to stay the status quo. That's when you feel like you're isolated and you're not moving forward, and that's when you get maybe a little depressed. That's my assumption of why people of that level of success might want to take their life, just like Kate Spade, right? That's
like she was suffering with anxiety and depression. That's what her husband Andy Spade said. But okay, here's a personal question. Have you ever thought about committing suicide?
It's
maybe like silly thoughts.
Yeah. To be honest, yes. That's when, you know, like us average Joes, we still have struggles.
Yes, of course. Everybody has struggles.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be as silly as having a fight with my mom or like boyfriends, right? And for me, I think if we have enough support, then I think it's not really that easy of an option. Because it's gonna sound really silly, but to kill yourself, it takes work. I actually this is my mom's not gonna happy if she hears this, but like I Google like, oh, how can you kill yourself, like painlessly, right? And then
you mean when you were feeling it, you actually Googled it, or like you Googled it after you felt it? Like, were you Googling?
I didn't Google for fun. I was like, let me think. If this is easy breezy, maybe, maybe.
I can't believe you Googled it.
So like, I'm a little older than you, so I guess I've been through like some other things, and then sometimes I just feel like, oh, this is so hard. Like, why do I need to live through such a hard life? I can just end it right here. And then you Google and it's like, oh, okay, I think it's gonna be a little painful.
So I'm not gonna do it.
So I think that sounds so silly, but
it's real. I'm so glad you shared this, because everybody has these thoughts, but like you're saying, like I feel like having this thought and actually wanting to do it, hey, it's like 1 to 10. That's 10. 1 is the thought and 10 is the action. I think everybody thinks about it. Like actually, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, right, we have a picture up here. There's a stat. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the US, and each year 44,965 Americans die by suicide. And for every suicide, there are 25 attempts. And that cause that we are not going to talk about now. But in 2015 alone, about 500,000 people visited the hospital for injuries due to self-harm. And based on the 2016 National Survey of Drug and Mental Health, it is estimated that 0.5% of the adults aged 18 or older made at least one suicide attempt. You're not alone. You're not alone.
I'm sure a lot of people...
That translates to 1.3 million adults. 0.5% seems a little small, but that's 1.3 million adults.
I'm not surprised by the number. But I think for me, when, like before you actually like reached to the cabinet for the sleeping pills, you're like, if death is my option, then what else can I do? You know, like if I'm not really getting this goal that I want to get to, and that's what makes me want to kill myself, then if that's what's going to happen, then why not just try to not save face and just go for it. If like what you're going to end up with is just like death, right?
Yeah.
So I think when I thought about that, that actually gives me more power. I guess everyone's going to die one day, but if you want to make the most out of this lifetime, then just try your best and then try to put the most into it. And I think for me that motivates me.
Yeah, it's just there's our personal experience, like we can't speak for other people, you know, like Kate Spade, and like we always don't know what they're going through, but we always know what we are going through. But maybe it's like, hey, for me, it's like if I fall 7 times, I get up 8 times. You know, it's definitely easier said than done. But again, breathe a little and live. But we still, at this time, we still do not know why Zombie Boy took his life. The media still haven't reported on anything about this. But if you you know someone that is considering suicide, there's always a national helpline, and we will put out a picture. This is the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and you can always call at 1-800-237-TALK, which is 8255. 1-800-237-8255, or go to suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's never too late. Help. It's like this is something that I learned. Like if you need help, ask for it. Like you're not alone.
Right.
But again,
talk
like
about
mental health, it's an issue. Like Lady Gaga said, like we have to save ourselves. Like we have to shed a light. It's always happening. Like the stats from this American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, it says that in the U.S., on average, there are about 123 suicides a day.
Yeah,
that's not in the news.
Yeah, so I think this can. I would like to think that 99% of the problem can be solved. If there's a will, there is a way. So that's the message I'm going to leave today.
Yes, I think that's all we have for today. It's a heavy topic, but we try to like lighten it up a little, and I guess we'll catch you guys next week as we continue to just bicker back and forth. But again, if you have any topics or any like thing you want to know about, like you can always come to Twitter at Hey Kessyl, and Carol's Twitter is Summer4C, right?
C4.
Summer C4. And like tweet us and let us know, and we will look at it and like talk to us, send us some comments, and we'll see you next week then.
Stay positive. Bye.
Bye.